Hi, my name is SudheerPuripanda. I'm going to demonstrate the approach stratified for driving synergy, simplification, and digitization in business in regards with my final project work. In the digital age, companies are expected to connect with the customers and run IT in simple and more agile ways. Business simplification is necessary and perhaps more so now than in the past. It is a strategic imperative for today's companies to unlock innovation and position themselves for future success in an increasingly complex world. Yet, many corporations are not aligning their actions more effectively with the stated goals of simplifying business processes, decision making, and IT functions, and as such, risk falling behind nimbler competitors. Companies put themselves in the best position to reap the rewards of their digitization efforts when they undertake IT simplification in tandem. The top management is well aware of the value of business simplification. In the recent survey that has been conducted, 51% of about 700 mainly business leaders said simplification carries significant strategic importance for the enterprise. They also expect the importance of business simplification to increase in the coming 3 years. So here are the 6 ways to achieve simplification, reducing the complexity of the existing processes. Intelligent demand management, scenario-based application and data simplification, infrastructure technology, pattern reduction, a simplified IT organization and an enabled IT workforce, effective governance and simplified processes, a shared services model and optimized resourcing. So, with simplification, we're going to achieve flexibility in the business, improved responsiveness, availability of services, and reduction in the costs. These help the organization cope up with the changing customer needs and technological advancements and stand up front in the extremely competitive world. As I've seen the advantages and significance of simplification in business hitherto, we shall now go through the approach to attain the same. It can be achieved with the 4 steps: unify, simplify, engage, and respond, implemented in union. And the approach to substantially reduce the business complexity are as depicted here. Let's organize and manage the data differently and wisely, simplify the product portfolio and the application architecture, standardize the IT infrastructure and transform the sourcing model, adopt new tools and a collaborative approach. Adding to the simplification concepts, let's now walk through the other significant component, synergy. We often hear of acquisitions and mergers, which is nothing but synergizing businesses. A synergy can be defined as the whole is greater than the sum of the individual parts. In an acquisition, synergy arises in two broad ways. One is cost savings, and the second is to attain higher sales, each individually dealing with elimination of duplicated functions and services, bettering the deals from suppliers, higher productivity, and efficiency from shared assets. And in regard to the higher sales, the main purpose of synergizing businesses is to achieve cross-selling to customers of both businesses, access to new distribution channels, brand extensions, new geographic markets getting opened up. Many cost-saving synergies arise from the greater scale of the enlarged business. If two firms join together, they may be able to use greater bargaining power to negotiate lower prices from suppliers or to demand better profit margins from the distributors. Acquisitions nearly always involve the removal or downsizing of duplicated functions in the two businesses. For example, If a publicly quoted company is taken over by another quoted firm, there's no need for both the businesses to keep the full senior management structure. There only needs to be one chairman, one CEO, etc. For an instance, take a look at the management of any acquired public company like Tech Mahindra. Post takeover, and you'll often see an exodus of the previous directors. While the revenue synergies, which are targeted for higher sales, are often harder to identify and achieve, but they're an important part of making an acquisition successful. After all, a successful acquisition should mainly be about helping a firm to grow more rapidly rather than simply taking costs out of two businesses put together. And the same has been depicted in the front line. What synergy provides for the combined business process and how we are going to reap up the profit. Now, getting into the vital part of the project, digitization and driving digitization in business. With the progressing world accelerating the digitization of business processes, customers want a quick and seamless digital experience now. Thanks to companies such as Amazon and Apple, they now expect every organization to deliver products and services swiftly with a seamless user experience. Customers are now demanding from companies a radical overhaul of business processes, intuitive interfaces, around the clock availability, real time fulfillment, personalized treatment, global consistency, and zero errors. This is the world to which customers have become increasingly accustomed to. It's more than a superior user experience. However, when we get it right, we can also offer more competitive prices to the customers because of the lower costs, better operational controls, and the less risk involved. The main motto of digitization is to delight the customers. To meet the high expectations of customers, companies must accelerate the digitization of the business processes. We should go beyond simply automating an existing process. We must also reinvent the entire business process, including cutting the number of steps required, reducing the number of documents, and developing an automated decision making. Operating models, skills, organizational structures, and roles need to be redesigned to match the reinvented processes. Data models should also be adjusted and rebuilt to enable better decision making, performance tracking, and customer insights. Digitization often requires that old wisdom be combined with the new skills. For example, by training a merchandising manager to program a pricing algorithm, new roles such as data scientist and user experience designer may be needed. This slide tells us how the digitization is transforming in the industries. The benefits are huge by digitizing information intensive processes, as the cost can be cut by up to 90% and turnaround times improved by several orders of magnitude. Driving the digitization in business can be done implementing the following: replacing paper and manual processes with the software allows us to automatically collect data that can be mined to better understand process performance, cost drivers, and causes of risk. Real-time reports and dashboards on digital process performance permit managers to address problems before they become critical. And the important and significant advantage of digitizing the processes can be seen in supply chain quality issues, as the supply chain quality issues can be identified and dealt with more rapidly by monitoring customer buying behavior and feedback in the digital channels. The justification of investment in the digitization can be seen here. The investment that a company imposes on digitization is going to be economic and strategic foundation investment, and it is also a low risk experiment as the investment is very low. In the current slide tells us about the success factors of digitization, and they are like: start at the end state and work back, tackle the end-to-end customer experience, build capabilities, move quickly, roll in and not out. Successful digitization efforts start by designing the future state for each process without regard for current constraints, say shortening a process turnaround time from days to minutes. We should not hesitate to challenge each constraint. Many are corporate myths that can be quickly resolved through discussions with customers or regulators. And to tackle the end-to-end process, such as customer onboarding, process digitization teams need support from every function involved in the customer experience. To do this, we create cross-functional units that bring together all colleagues, including IT personnel, involved in the end-to-end customer experience. The cross-functional unit has the mandate to challenge the status quo. And to build capabilities, digitization skills are in short supply. So successful programs emphasize building in-house capabilities. The goal is to create a center of excellence with skilled staff that can be called upon to digitize processes quickly. Given its importance, the first manager selected to lead the transformation should be carefully chosen, well trusted in the organization, and ready to commit for a long period of time. And moving quickly isn't always easy. More often than not, it's business decision making that's causing the bottleneck rather than IT development. That's why digitization programs need strong board level support to align all the stakeholders, while all other decisions should be delegated to the project team. And roll in and not out. In traditional deployment, a new solution is rolled out progressively across sites to existing user teams. However, a different approach may be needed when organizations undertake digitization because of radical changes to processes and the supporting organization. So, what digitization is offering us is something that we're going to walk through in the slide. With digitization in place, rather than creating technology tools to help back office employees log customer complaints into the system, we can create self-serve options for customers to type in their own complaints. This kind of approach is usually done process by process in a series of short-term releases, combining traditional process engineering methods like Lean 1 with new agile to software development methodologies. And companies that digitize processes can improve their bottom lines and delight customers. The value at stake depends on the business model and starting point, but can be estimated by allocating costs to end-to-end processes and benchmarking against peers. Altogether, it is highly recommended to synergize, simplify, and digitize the existing processes to cope up with the technological advancements and attain better quality and performance, hassle-free maintenance, and seamless user experience. So to consolidate, we have proposed to drive simplification, synergy, and digitization in business to reap better profits and cope up with the advancements in the technologies by delighting the customers in parallel. So it goes like this. Successful transformation comes not from implementing new technology, but using it to your advantage. Successful digital transformation doesn't happen bottom up. It should be percolated from the top. Focus on how more than what. Reshaping the organization to take advantage of valuable existing strategic assets in new ways by synergizing new components, simplifying the processes, and designing digitized solutions with the approaches we have discussed above. It is a continuous process and not a one-time standalone process. but can be achieved for the greater good of us. Radical changes should not be targeted. Opposition towards change needs to be dealt, and all the stakeholders need to be on the same page. Thank you.